Hi, homos. Hi, gay people. How are we? In this beautiful month that is June. Pride Month. Pride Month is here. We are queer, and I'm not happy about it. Unfortunately, the tales of triumph that I'm going to share today, it's not pretty. It's not cute. It's dirty and grimy and gross. It's not like the A24 movies. Nay, nay. Nay, nay. Dare I say, it's kind of like a, what are those called? The snuff film. That's kind of what, the life of a showgay is. In the words, well, revised words of Miss Taylor Swift. You don't know the life of a showgay. And you are never gonna wanna. I can tell you that. Welcome back. Hello? Hello?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording.
Welcome to the Pride Month special of My Friends Aren't Here, the podcast. And I figured, what better way to celebrate how, the people that have come before us, that fought hard, that had rocks tossed at them by a wall. I think that's the story of Stonewall. I never claimed to be a historian, so you can't clock me on that. Anyways, I figured what better way to celebrate the freedoms that we all have today, that are slowly being taken away, of course, give or take next year. I think it's going to start trickling down to the gay people. What I mean is, rights being taken away because the administration, I don't believe that they're non-binary, but Trump does seem to kind of have a thing for men. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this, but he is very, very complimentary to many a man. And the queen does love a good ballroom. Anyways, let me finish a thought. I figured what better way to celebrate our founding... sorry. I do tend to use that word pretty loosely. And I will blur it out, of course, because apparently people are, how would you say, faggots, I guess, these days. Like, what is with this whole, these words are very triggering. It's a word, bitch. It's just a word. Relax. Again, I say. I figured what better way to celebrate being slay by speaking about the how much I hate it. I love the culture of my queers. I love you babies. Bad. However, I don't like the a lot of this. They gonna get me for this one. There is not many a gay that I can stand. Not a many. I have come in contact with, give or take, 6 fellow in my life that I can tolerate. The others, I do just want to just either, fight or call them a slur, which, I mean, coming from me, it doesn't mean much. But because, I mean, let's be honest, everybody, whenever I'm driving, whenever I'm, bumper to bumper traffic, as Miss Ariana said, um, everyone's a to me. Every single person. It could be a grandpa who has loved his wife down since the end of World War II. Never stepped out on her, let alone with the man. And if he is not applying the pressure in traffic, there is something that comes over me. And I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better for my children, for my future. I don't fucking want children. Who am I kidding? And I couldn't even have them if I wanted. Well, of course, adoption's a thing. I was adopted, actually. Hey, y'all, let's go. Come on, system babies. Come on, crack babies. Let's go. Hey, work. But again, I mean, give or take, the last quarter of this year, I would probably, I think this administration's next step is kind of gonna be to, make gays, aka the next minorities, lives a little bit miserable. Because I feel like they kind of started off with um, all women, you know, um, and they said, no, actually we own your bodies, mainly because we can't get it up, and you know they have issues. They have issues there, so they kind of like to regain control and be like, no, it's your fault. It's a whole thing. It's a whole psychological thing, and then um, you know, I wish I had the wording to explain it um, professionally and poetically. But all I have is to say those bitches are pathetically intolerable. Um, but anyways, yes, of course. Then they went to Latinos, Latinx, and Latinas. See, next, of course, I think it'll be, yes, the gays, of course. Our time is coming, guys. Are we excited? Let's go. Um, yeah, it's been a moment, Loki. It's been a moment since like the gays had their time to shine, because Pride has not been the same for a while. Um, because Obama, he was very like, yes, the streets talk though. I'm not gonna say anything because I have $6 to my name. Um, but the streets talk. Look up his chef or something. Apparently he drowned in a fucking 20-inch pond. His chef, his chef was a sister, if you know what I'm saying, mister. And Michelle, she was pissed off. um, mm, allegedly. Allegedly for entertainment purposes. Please. But yes, our time is coming, guys. Girls. Gays. Theys. Thems is all around. Our time is coming. So, start, you know, I don't know, preparing for combat. For fucking real. And then I think after that, it'll probably be, if I had to guess, because I'm trying to go like back in time, because that's kind of what we're doing. We're reversing. What is that damn word? Re We're going back to the Stone Ages. I think that's the end goal for these bitches. So before the gay, or no, after, Yeah, before the gays had their freedoms per se, and they were allowed to marry. It was black people. Yes. So I'm getting like a 2-for-1 combo basically. Like cuz I'm actually half black. I'm a mixed crack baby. Uh hate to see me coming, especially mm, especially the closeted gays. They hate to see me coming because they will be coming. Aside from the political forecast of what's to come for us, yeah, I figured for the Pride Month special, why not just speak about my relationship experience being a flamboyant queen? Really just speak on every reason why I hate being gay. And babe, that list is actually not long. I started writing it and I was like, oh no, it really is just like the other men. And, and that's what I think we ought to bring back lavender marriages. I don't know if you know what that is, but essentially, it's when either a lesbian or a straight woman who has, given up on the entire breed of man marries a homosexual, a queer, a faggot, if you will. Or, of course, the more likely case for me, because I actually well, don't assume anyone's sexuality. Uh huh. I am not one to assume because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And I don't really have a great lesbian radar. I will be on radar per se. Um, yeah, I don't know if I have any lesbian friends. Um, if I do, and you are watching, hey, why didn't I know this shit? But also, of course, if you are a lesbo out there and you are seeking an arrangement per se with a fellow gay, hit me up. I'll do a vibe check. We can both do a vibe check, and we can go from there. I'm not great at taxes, but I think that's the main reason why people get married, is for some sort of tax thing or another. I actually owe money in tax. I'm not selling myself well, but also the sell is kind of just me. What you're looking at is what you get, truly. Every dollar of my net worth is either on me right now or in a closet. Oh, oh, that was not a innuendo. But essentially, yes, I have a shopping addiction, and it's getting better. It is, especially since I am going broke. But yeah, here's to the future and my lovely lavender wife. I love you, baby. I mean, I love you, bitch. Let's talk about these motherfucking heifers, men. And that's what I was kind of getting at, essentially, whenever I started mentioning lavender marriages, was I think we're all a little bit sick and tired of these men. Of course, biologically, at birth, I am a man, despite popular opinion. One thing about me is, from a very early age, my pride was snatched away. And that is why, my fellow gays, that you will never see me at a pride parade. Firstly, ew, why are you wearing a jockstrap and a dog collar? What's going on? To each their own. Um, I went to one pride parade, and I think I was like 18, and I what? Damn, I was beyond scared straight. Yes, I was. Never have I ever gone again. But also, I'm not a very prideful person, you know? Yeah, my pride was kind of snatched away from an early age. I don't really care too much to have pride. I more so enjoy having a good life. And what that means for me is kind of just doing me. And what that means is that, well, essentially, there was never a closet cunty enough for me to hide in. People kind of knew I was slay from the second that I said, hey. So I've kind of always just, I guess, had pride or confidence. I had to learn from a young age how to be okay with people not getting me, with people, you know, calling me a fat. Fifth grade, if no, perhaps, if I'm not mistaken, it might have been third. That was my first allegation, and the news spread like wildfire. So essentially, what I'm getting at is there was never a reason for me to kind of act like I was act like I wasn't gay, because you know it was all over town, and since then I have now taken over the world, having people question whether I am a boy or a girl, all over, and for that I am prideful. It really is kind of like a flex, like low key. I mean, to a certain extent, until it's not essentially until your safety's in jeopardy or whatever. But like a lot of people, the amount of men specifically, of course, that are like,
I mean, if you were a girl that.
which is so, sir, can you shut the fuck up? Like, if you were a girl, I mean, shit. I, okay. I never have understood those sort of things that people say, like, if you were a girl, I swear, I, well, I can tell that you are a man, and I am more often than not interested in men, and I still say, no, thank you. I wonder if people just think I'm a prostitute. I think that's how a lot, and that's what we're gonna get into here, is like a lot of men just think that they can like get it anybody that they want.
It's quiet. Yeah, no, it's quiet.
Like I feel as though, and I don't know if this is for everyone, but like a lot of the men that approach me essentially just think,
I could get with that. But he's a boy, so like, but man, if he was a girl,
I'm not a $2 hooker, okay? Like, I need you to at least cover my rent, and then we'll talk. But, like, until then, brother, back the fuck out. We had an outfit change. For context for our audio listeners, I was wearing a beret, and one thing about May is, nay, I don't know how the fuck to goddamn do that shit. I felt as though I was giving more so the elf in the Santa Claus franchise movies rather than I don't know, Jean-Luc. It wasn't working. I mean, now that I realize it, really giving gay right now. Because, I mean, one thing about gays is they love a good wife beat. Ooh. Well, we can dissect that at a later time. Why do gays love a nice wife beater? Let's talk about it. Not right now, because there's too much psychology there that we just couldn't deal with right now. We're here to talk about me and my psychology. So let's get into that. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm already crying. Where do we start, bitch? I hate it here. I do. I'm as serious as a fucking heart attack when I say that I fucking hate it here. If we would like, I could do a quick little body check. I am what the homosexuals, they call a... ew. I am what the homosexuals call a twink. Sorry. I'm a twink. I don't have the dictionary definition of that. or the Urban Dictionary definition of that. But basically, it just means a skinny gay person. With that territory comes a lot of subjectification. I don't think that's a word, but it sounds right. I am subjected to a lot of fucking freaks. I am subjected to people who have some serious issues that they need to work out with a psychiatrist, specifically a sex addiction psychiatrist. Seriously. Then the second demographic that I usually attract is the closeted folk. I am no stranger to a closeted man. I can't. How it feels to me, essentially being a pretty gay person, and apparently you're not supposed to like kind of hype yourself up these days. I've given into that for sure. I try to downplay how quote unquote attractive I am, which yes I can. Yes I will. Yes I can. Yes I am. Because this is the main reason why my pride was snatched away, babe, was because like from the second that I entered the public school system, I was yanked down. I was yanked down to my knees, literally. You know who you are. Yeah, I was just yanked down to believe that I was ugly, disgusting, fat. Yes, best believe that. I was a little chunkamunker. I was a chunky monkey. Not monkey in the black way. I am black, of course, but I was a fucking whale. I was a big bitch back in the day, and it's taken me some time to realize that everything does happen for a reason. And I had a miserable fucking childhood for a reason. Because it was in the cards for me to grow older and gayer and skintier. Due to, of course, the bullying that happened due to me being fatter. I had the gambit. I ran the gambit and I lived to tell the tale. However, I cannot say for how much longer because, of course, those are serious issues. And Ariana, my love, seriously. They're serious. We gotta reel it in. There comes a point when your ribcage begins to show on your chest and you have to kind of say, oh, and then you get 5150'd. At least that was my case. My Friends Aren't Here, the podcast is brought to you by me, duh. Have your eyes been feeling quite dry? Are you getting sick of the same recycled nachos of crunchy clean girls and boring bland bottoms in your feed? Well, baby, allow me to introduce you to some fresh air to breathe. On Instagram.com/IRISALEXANDERM, your eyes' thirst will be quenched. You will no longer feel as though you are a cog in the wheel of witnessing every single micro trend. Nay, nay, baby. At Instagram.com/IRISALEXANDERM, your eyes will be revived. My Friends Aren't Here, the podcast is also sponsored in part by my TikTok. Go follow IRISALEXANDER unofficial. That is UNOFFICIAL. I know, it's kind of hard to spell, I will say. Iris Alexander unofficial on TikTok. Iris Alexander M on Instagram. Also, fuck it, follow my Finsta. Coke Queen Forever. COKEQWE as in echo, E as in echo, N as in November, 4 like the number, E as in echo, V as in victory, A as in alpha. because that is what the fuck I am, period. Thank you to our sponsors. You guys are truly the sexiest, baddest bitches, and I can attest to that. And that brings us to the first reason why I hate being gay. It seems as though all you homosexuals are concerned with is having sex. Maybe I'm built different. Maybe I was bred different from a young age to say, no, I hate myself. I am yucky and nasty, and I will never have intercourse unless, of course, I am forced. Ooh, wait, that got way too deep. It's light, it's fun, it's happy here on My Friends Aren't Here. Please hold. I did not have a bevy on me before. And then I remembered, yeah, this is going to be a rough one. So today on the podcast, we are drinking liquor. Yes. I'm kidding. Pinot Grigio, my darlings. I'm playing. I have had it maybe up to here. No, I think it's out of frame, actually. I fucking had it with men that literally just want you to suck them off and fuck you. And like, we're getting brutal. We're getting brash and brutal in this podcast. So, children, tune out. I don't know why you're listening in the first place. Secondly, if you have children, get them out. Just get them out. Gay son or thought daughter, I don't know. Dare I say thought daughter? Dare I fucking say thought daughter? Because if you have a gay son, he's gonna become a thought. But not by his own doing. He is gonna be put out like a fucking hooker. Literally, and that's what my main issue is like the hookup culture of it all. Let's take a walk down memory lane and talk about all the lames that I have given. I hate that I'm a good rhymer. Brain. So, my first experience was with of course, a closeted man. This is a rough one. This is a rough episode to fucking do, because like more often than not, whenever a situation would happen, like it would just be behind me. It would be a disassociation that I could say, well, moving forward. You know, like the whole like quote about, not quote, I don't know if it's a quote, but like people that are like, technically, I'm still a virgin because anyone that I had, sex with, they were really, only having sex with me. And unfortunately, that is the case. And I think this is genuinely why I will always say I do not desire a relationship. I don't desire to be with anyone. I've grown to no longer trust majority of people, especially men. And I can only imagine, because I'm sure that my experience is only a minuscule percentage of how every woman feels on this fucking earth. Because the way that women are treated and used and abused, essentially, it could be as simple as just assume, like a man fucking assuming that, like, oh, you don't want to fuck me, you don't want to have sex with me, then fuck you, you fucking ugly tramp. Women have it obviously so much worse than I do, and most likely ever will. That is something that number one, that's one reason why I don't feel like I have the nerve to complain. The fact of the matter is that, like, men as a species, crack, 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 pop, 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 death to all of you. The fuck is wrong with you? Genuinely, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you? Men are the issue. Can we all be honest? Let's be honest. And yes, I am a man, and I can say with my chest, my hair, my hands, and say that men are an issue. There's an issue there. There's a problem.
You got problems. You need to get straight. You need a therapist.
I think if we could all just abject all the men that live on this earth to, a specific continent, and then, of course, all the girls and the gays come to another continent. And, of course, that's not great either, because at their core, men are men. Gays are fucking faggots at the end of the day. And, of course, they most likely would not want the women. However, they do have the how do you say? Misogynistic tendencies. A lot of, and this is what I fucking also hate about the sorry, but no, I'm not, is that they are very fucking misogynistic, and they like to act like, oh, I'm gay, I've had it hard too, babe, I'm just like you. No, you're not. You're not a girl, bitch, in the words of Tokyo. But I'm sorry. As I was saying, you flamers and your sexual addictions are the reason why I hate being gay. I have never in my life downloaded the infamous Grindr. However, I think it would be a great outlet for you fucking freaks. And yes, I am talking to you straight people as well. Because I've always said this about straight men who frequently cheat on their spouses. There's a little something off there, and it's giving a little queer. I wish I could explain in more detail. However, all I have to offer is, if you so badly want to give it up, I'm sure you would give it up to any man that says they would. Where that thesis lands for me is that essentially, maybe not gay entirely, at least bisexual, because there's no way that a straight man finds a woman who will, first of all, like them. I saw a TikTok of this local influencer, and she was talking about how she went to a bar in Boys Town, and the the issue there, all of the guys that seemed gay were actually straight, and all of the guys that seemed straight were actually gay. What is going on? And I mean, that also is an issue within itself, because this one motherfucker, and this is gonna be a tiny bit of a story time, so lock in, baby. My experience with a man in the shadows, in the closet, locked away, because he's a faggot. Sorry. Of course, I've had many an experience with a man in the closet. However, every other experience was with a man who was, of course, in a closet of sorts. However, they also, and this is where maybe we tune out, maybe we lock in, maybe we just let me live. Maybe we just fucking let me live, please, because I have no excuses. However, many of my experiences before moving to this fuck ass city was with men who are, if not already hitting 50, on the verge, and definitely in their 40s. And they had the beer belly to tell the tale. And they also had the wife and the children to tell the tale, who is literally, again, it circles back to me feeling like a sex worker, using me for an experience that they ideally would have had back in high school or whenever it be, because times were tough back then. Back in the day, if you were gay, you'd be beat down, you'd be thrown rocks at. It wasn't safe around here for queers. The several men that I've hooked up with that had wives and children at home, I'm not proud of it. And the sad fact of the matter is that they probably fucking are. And that's where we need to redirect our energy, because I, Nene, am not an Ariane. I am not a homewrecker. I am someone who was given attention and gave into it. Is that okay? No, it is not. However, you cannot turn back time. And ain't that the saddest shit? But I hope you can forgive. Especially, I'm genuinely serious, because I'm 90% sure. I still don't know accurately to this day, but there is one person's... There is one person that I went to school with that I'm, give or take 10%, I'm about 90% sure that I hooked up with their father. Not my fault. Well, Billy, where you at? Come on. Speak up for me. I've had some trauma. I did things I didn't want to. I'm too afraid to fucking tell you, but now I think it's time. Your dad's a fucking fag. But, yeah. These are just a few anecdotes of why I despise being a guy that, how embarrassing. This is what I think they meant back in the day. Like, how yuck, how icky, how embarrassing. Are you not embarrassed? I'd be embarrassed. You're a man who likes men. Women don't even like men. What is wrong with you? Tomorrow on My Friends Aren't Here, the podcast. I don't know. I think we're all fucked up in some way. Closeted, or just openly. Very much so they, which I am, if I gave a shit. But unfortunately I don't. I have no respect for myself. Clearly, that is why there is a semen stain on my passenger seat.